This is the Enchanted Forest, home to princes, princesses, dwarfs, dragons, evil queens, and whatever Rumpelstiltskin is. It's full of characters we all grew up hearing stories about. Welcome to Once 101. When the evil queen found out that Prince Charming woke up Snow White with a magical kiss,
I shall destroy your happiness.
she enacted a dark curse that transported our favorite fairy tale characters into a land without happy endings. This is Storybrooke, Maine, a land where for the past 28 years time has stood still. It's dark, cold, and has very little magic, but lots of familiar faces. In this world, Snow White is a teacher named Mary Margaret. The evil queen is Mère Regina Mills, and Rumpelstiltskin is a pawnbroker named Mr. Gold, who also just happens to own the town. The only person in Storybrooke that seems to know about the curse and is determined as ever to break it is a little boy named Henry. His book of fairy tales explains how Snow White and Prince Charming saved their baby from the evil queen's curse by putting her in a wardrobe that magically transported her to our world, specifically Storybrooke. It was to be their child's destiny 28 years later to become the savior. Meet Emma Swan, a lonely bail bonds person and the biological mother that gave Henry up for adoption 10 years ago.
Another banner year.
Henry has tracked her down via his book of fairy tales.
My name's Henry. I'm her son.
Needless to say, Emma's a bit more than skeptical of Henry's theory that she could be the daughter of Prince Charming and Snow White.
I am not in any book. I'm a real person, and I'm no savior.
When Emma takes Henry back to his home in Maine, she has to admit that something seems a little bit off about Storybrooke and Henry's adopted mother, Mère Regina Mills.
Don't underestimate me, Miss Swan. You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Regina does her best to get Emma to leave town, but that only strengthens Emma's resolve to stay.
All due respect, Madam Mayor, the fact that you have now threatened me twice in the last 12 hours makes me want to stay more.
Emma quickly befriends Henry's teacher, Mary Margaret Blanchard. Mary Margaret is looking for love, but the best she's got is a comatose patient at the local hospital who bears a striking resemblance to Prince Charming. When Mary Margaret reads some of Henry's fairy tales to her mystery man, he miraculously wakes up. Just as suddenly, Regina shows up with someone who also knows the man, his estranged wife, Catherine. The man's name is David Nolan, and prior to falling into a coma, he and Catherine had separated.
This isn't right.
Despite his efforts to reconnect with his wife, he can't ignore his unshakable and familiar feelings for Mary Margaret.
You'll know where I'll be.
Meanwhile, there's some romantic tension budding between Emma and Graham, Storybrooke's sheriff. Graham even hires Emma as his deputy behind Regina's back. But when he kisses Emma, Graham experiences something most unexpected. He begins to remember his fairy tale life as the huntsman. To protect the curse as well as punish Graham and Emma, Regina kills him by crushing his heart, which she removed as the evil queen in Fairy Tale Land. Ouch! After Graham's death, Emma is elected as the new sheriff of Storybrooke.
Congratulations, Sheriff Swan.
When Catherine finds out about David and Mary Margaret, she leaves town and subsequently goes missing. Pursuant to Regina's vindictive plan, everyone suspects that Mary Margaret killed her.
The evidence is piling up by the hour.
Eventually, with the help of Mr. Gold as her lawyer, Mary Margaret's cleared of all the charges, but she can't forgive David for doubting her innocence.
When I looked at you, I saw that you didn't believe me.
With her plan to ruin Mary Margaret foiled, Regina sets her sights on Emma the newcomer. She bakes a poison apple into a delicious treat and gives it to Emma.
You can't eat that. It's poison.
What?
Henry, however, sees through Regina's plan and eats the poison pastry himself. Right before Emma's eyes, her son collapses and won't wake up.
Henry?
Emma rushes to the hospital where no one has any clue what's wrong. But when Regina hurries in, Emma knows exactly what's going on.
You did this! How are you doing? That apple turned over you gave me, he ate it! It was meant for you!
For the first time, Emma believes in the curse, and she will do whatever it takes to save her son.
Where is this magic?
Where you're going, you're gonna need this.
Unfortunately, that includes slaying a dragon living in the caverns beneath Storybrooke to retrieve a true love potion that can save Henry. Let's not forget that she's the daughter of Prince Charming and Snow White. Mr. Gold tricks her into handing over the potion.
Just toss it up. Your boy's gonna be fine. I promise.
With no way to save Henry, Emma gives her dying son a tender kiss. Suddenly, a shockwave thunders across Storybrooke, and everyone remembers who they really are and what's happened. The curse is broken by the power of true love. Mary Margaret and David reunite.
You found me.
Once again, finally remembering their true identities as Snow White and Prince Charming. Everyone in town is overjoyed, except Regina, the evil queen, whose best-laid plans have all come undone. Elsewhere in Storybrooke, Mr. Gold drops the true love potion into a mysterious well on the outskirts of town. Suddenly, a thick purple cloud emerges, rolling over Storybrooke, changing everything in our world. Magic is coming.